We do have the next game. It is the early 2 o'clock kickoff game. The 49ers versus the Eagles. The Eagles at
Wait,
home.
what? There's another game this weekend?
What?
Are you kidding me?
What?
There's somebody other than the Kansas City Chiefs playing football?
Not that I'm aware of.
Oh,
What are you
The
talking about then,
Eagles,
man?
crazy. This is
the
like news
Eagles,
to me.
the Eagles at home are 2.5 point favorites. So the home teams are favored here. Big game. I mean, you've got the Eagles who have come back from winning a Super Bowl with Nick Foles and a backup quarterback, changing the entire structure. You draft Devonte Smith very high, and then you trade and pay a guy like AJ Brown. You bring in Nick Sirianni, former Kansas City Chiefs staff member, now head coach, um, taking them to the NFC Championship in their second year. Jalen Hurts, MVP finalist. And then you've got the 49ers who all around potentially have the best team composition wise and skill set players on offense and defense with a guy like Kyle Shanahan who knows how to manipulate offenses more than most anybody in the league and learned it from his dad who was one of the best. I, this is a game, boys. Like we've got two amazing games coming up. I'm really excited for this 2 o'clock game on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm excited to
I
see what
think
it's all about. Brock Purdy, rookie, hasn't lost yet. Let's see if he can keep it going. Eagles, man, I expect some batteries to be thrown at the link on Sunday. If not
What
batteries, they're going to
horrible
find
people.
something else to throw.
What horrible people.
That's what they do, man.
I know, but they're awful.
when's the last time were there reports of batteries being thrown?
Really a few weeks ago.
I can't recall, but that's what they do. They threw snowballs at Santa. Who does that?
People from Philly.
They also put cheese whiz on their Philly cheesesteaks. Disgusting human beings.
I mean, not all of them, but you failed to mention, about the pretty good players that they have on defense over there in Philadelphia as
They
well.
do.
I think the a player at each position group on the All Pro list, I do think is extremely impressive for the 49ers. They are a formidable squad. I will own up to sleeping on them earlier on in the season. Um, didn't think they could really get it done with any of the quarterbacks, and they've done it with all of the quarterbacks just about. So maybe Trey Lance is not on that list, but I do think it's going to be an electric game. I think it's going to be high scoring in 20s and 30s. It's going to be a good football weekend, fellas.
Who has the better defense, Niners or Eagles?
Niners.
All right,
Questionably.
We'll start defensive line.
I think I still have to go Niners.
I'm going Eagles, man. All four of their starters have double-digit sacks.
Yeah. I'll put in strength of schedule, but
they're still NFL players.
oh, they are.
And
they are.
the Niners also still play in the NFC, which was trash regardless. So
That's true. I would say that Armstead and Bosa combined are probably better than the four up front. But if whole group, I could see that argument.
Linebackers.
Niners. Unquestionably.
It's secondary.
Fred Warner
Eagles.
covering CeeDee Lamb
Eagles.
40 yards, 50 yards downfield. My goodness.
They go from two great linebackers to two great linebackers over and over again.
Every time. DBs, yeah, I'd probably say the Eagles.
It's a tough call. I do think both defenses are great. But
what is sad
even with the feat of having one player from each position group on the All Pro list, I think the Eagles are more stacked. I've said that repeatedly.
I thought I heard this today. I thought one of the sadder things was a guy that we have been high on all year, CJ Gardner-Johnson, who went down early earlier in the season with the injury, missed out on Pro Bowl voting by a week. If you are injured during the time in which they do the final voting for the Pro Bowl on who makes it and who doesn't, if you are injured, you are not eligible to be picked. Even if there is a possibility for you coming back later in the season being healthy enough to be in the Pro Bowl, he missed it by a week. He was out during the week of voting. He came back the week after. Missed it. That's sad. That's a guy who's playing at an extremely high level this season, one of the top DBs out there. It was sad to see him not be eligible to pick and then come back a week later.
Yeah, that's sad and all, but it's Pro Bowl. It's not all pro, anything like that. So I don't think he's going to put too much stock into it. I mean, Geno Smith is a Pro Bowl quarterback.
That is a good paycheck for a lot of those
but
guys with incentives and then just getting paid to go to the Pro Bowl.
Is that an incentive in his contract though?
I don't know, but they typically do. They do have a standard for contracts. Make a Pro Bowl, you get no less than six figures. And then some do have $1 million incentives to make a Pro Bowl directly in their contract. You wanted to talk about defense. Well, let's talk about offense really quick. Who's got the better quarterback?
Eagles. Easy.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Why are you looking at me? You think I'm
offensive line?
Look you dead in the face and say Brock Purdy?
Hey, undefeated, dog.
In the NFC. Mainly.
Offensive line.
Tough, but Lane Johnson is playing with an injury, so you go Niners here.
Yep.
It's a tough one. You got Kelsey, you got Brian Mailata, you got late. That's tough. I think I'd have to agree with the 49ers. Wideouts, receiving core.
I'm going to have to lean the 49ers just because you put Christian McCaffrey in the receiving core as well. They put him out wide all the time.
If I'm just saying wide receivers, I definitely go Eagles because I prefer AJ Brown to Debo Samuel and I prefer Devontae Smith to Brandon Ayuk.
I would say you take the running backs out of that conversation, but tight ends are in that conversation.
The Eagles, yeah.
And running back room, obviously 49ers. It's tit for tat here and there. Both very solid teams. One's got a little bit better here at a portion of the defense versus over here. And then you look at offense and it's the same way. I mean, I think this is set up to be the best NFC Championship game we've maybe seen in our lifetime.
So, like Chavo said earlier, he thinks it's going to be high scoring. Is this going to be a shootout or is this going to be a defensive battle?
There's going to be defensive plays made. I mean, don't expect 50-point games, but I am going to bring up Rams Chiefs from back in the day. But there were strip sacks, there were defensive touchdowns. Expect big plays from both defenses, but expect to beat points scored off of those turnovers, and still make it a high scoring game.
Who are the biggest playmakers in this game?
For the Niners, it's going to be Christian McCaffrey. Easy choice there.
And Bosa.
For defense, yeah.
Eagles, Jalen Hurts. I think the 49ers team could carry Brock Purdy, like they could baby Brock Purdy and still get a victory. But Jalen Hurts more so affects, how that offense runs over in Philadelphia. So if he's playing well, they have a big game.
And Darius Slay for the defense. Big play Slay.
It's a big one. I think Fred Warner's going to have himself a hell of a game. I think he's going to impact the way Jalen is able to read the 49ers defense. That guy is so good, man. I love everything that he does out there. And don't forget Talanoa Hufanga. Dude, I mean, mini Troy Polamalu out there. The guy is fast to the break. Offensively, I think the player who's going to have the biggest impact On offense, Devonta Smith. I think everybody's going to be so keyed in on Jalen Hurts running the ball and A.J. Brown, what he does being a possession receiver and a deep receiver, that they're going to forget a lot about Devonta Smith, and he's going to be open quite a bit out there.
I think if they get him involved, it's going to help them out a lot. Even if it's end arounds or something else, like he doesn't always have the greatest receiving day, but when he does, they're winning.
And it's always like when he has a receiving day, let me tell you, it is a day. He doesn't do small. It's either nothing or everything. You guys ready to pick this game? Is there anything else in particular that like really will stand out in this game to you?
This will be the Brock Purdy as a rookie game. Really comes out and shows that he's a rookie.
Really?
Calling that.
Makes some mistakes to lose the game.
And you wouldn't be able to really fault him for it. Like we've talked about, their defense is very good. I wouldn't be able to fault Brock Purdy for having a rookie game here. Let's go ahead and pick this one. Like I said, it's 49ers in Philly against the Eagles, who are currently 2.5-point favorites. I did say that I was going to pick first here. I've got the 49ers winning this game on the backs of Brock Purdy. They're going to take this one home at 32-28.
Oh yeah, it's me. I'm gonna have to disagree with you, Bubs. Philly's gonna win, and it's gonna be like 44-38.
Holy cow!
It's gonna be
you said no high scoring game, and you come out with a high scoring game.
I did say high scoring game.
I said
yes. I said it was gonna be a high scoring game.
He said reminiscent of the way back when.
I didn't say there was gonna be a 50-point game.
I got you.
It's not going to be a 50 ball on either side, but big game.
What was your score again?
44-38.
44-38.
I'm going to pick
the Eagles. Hard to get there because it's a weird score.
Very weird score. The Eagles to make it the Kelsey Bowl in the Super Bowl. Eagles 35, for Niners 21.
I like it.
Just TDs, just touchdowns. No missed extra points.
Much like to see a Kelsey Bowl. That would be beautiful. I don't know. I don't think
the Niners.
It would be beautiful to see, but I think we're going to get a rematch of 2020. I think that's what we're looking at.
I think that would be boring. I think the more exciting Super Bowl here is Chiefs Eagles for sure.